Hi.
Wow.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas. Wow. This has been a shit show for us. But you have no idea what's even going on, man. This is like the third try show going today. Oh, what? We've been in here for 2.5 hours.
With technical difficulties.
So anyway, welcome everybody. This is Talking Freely, and I'm Rainey, and this is Ray.
Hello.
And today's topic's going to be about AmFest, that shit show that happened over the weekend, and maybe the updates on Charlie Kirk, the conspiracy theories on the possibilities of how he may have been murdered. All right. So let me start off with this because this was like the most epic quote of the year from Candace Owens when, because Ben decided he was going to talk crap about everybody while he was on the stage at AmFest. I thought it was very unprofessional. And, I think he lost a few friends over that and some supporters along as well. So, Ben Shapiro, to quote Candace Owens, fuck you and your little midget horse that you rode in on. Oh, goodness.
I think there's just so much infighting in general. It makes me, obviously, I'm laughing for so many reasons, but, I think when everyone's trying to jockey for positions, even on little midget horses, they need to be a little bit kinder. And the American people that are following these influencers, if you will, they're looking for answers. They don't want, to only be dedicated to one podcaster. So when you're talking about another one, it's kind of like you're just getting crossed off the list. So I think Ben's just getting crossed off my list. He's on the naughty list.
He's canceling himself out.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I just thought it was very unprofessional and using a stage to attack other media influencers and
Right.
Called Megyn Kelly a coward um and then the usual stuff that he says about Candace, and then of course he was trying to um just, basically saying that Tucker Carlson didn't belong there and all that stuff. But originally Charlie didn't want Ben Shapiro there, and he did want Tucker Carlson there, and they tried to the meeting that supposedly happened the night before or whatever, they were trying to get him to not have Tucker Carlson there, and he said, "No, I am gonna have him there, and because you don't want him there gives me more reason to want him there." So,
Wasn't Tucker Carlson the one that Charlie told him to go max? That was the saying that he said, go max. He said, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go, maximum level. And he said, go max. So that's where we're all at. Yeah. Like, when you want the truth, go max.
Exactly. And if Candace, go max.
Right.
Everything that she's saying right now is adding up a lot to me. I mean, I personally, I'm following her. I think she's onto a lot of things. I think some things may be kind of a dead end, but I mean, she's following all the leads that she's getting, and that's basically what it boils down to. So whether they're good leads or bad leads or whatever, she's looking into stuff. And some things, whether it might not be the answer, it's leading to another direction, to other more insight onto what happened. So I mean, it's going way back to like July even, when she well, other influencers as well have been looking into stuff, and so like tracking like the search engines and stuff, and seeing what was the top searches back then. And so this goes back into July, and where like that Israel and whoever else, the French, were looking up like Mikey McCoy, and then the surgeons that were at the hospital that he was taken to, the um the mortuary, the either the medical examiner, you know. So if they're looking up things like that back then, it sounds like this was something that was kind of already premeditated and planned out, and people got paid off, is what it sounds like to me. This is just my opinion, you
Right.
know, based off of everything that I've heard and things that people seen and the planes that were tracked and stuff like that. And then also that led into recently, um, Candace was informed by this guy named Mitch, a veteran whistleblower. This was on her December 18th episode, and he came forward and he was at Fort Huachuca and over near Tucson when there was like these high profile people there, and he's allegedly um, said he saw Erica Kirk there, Brian Harple,
Oh yeah.
and uh, her ex-boyfriend, who's now leading a tour for Charlie. His name is Cabot Phillips, and
Is that the one that is doing a tour of some sorts called How to Be More Like Charlie?
um, yes,
I just
I wrote it
I just
down.
read that, and it's like, so you say you haven't dated in 5 years of being with Charlie, and then pictures come out and people come out, and then your ex-boyfriend, which granted, rationally, the political spectrum, the religious spectrum at that level is not as big as you think it is. So it's not uncommon that these people would run into each other. But you did lie. You did say you weren't dating 5 years, didn't date in New York, but then all of a sudden here comes this guy doing a bit of a tour called How to Be More Like Charlie.
Yeah, and not only that, there was another guy that she dated too, or maybe might have been engaged to, and his name was something Massey.
Oh,
Uh,
did it
let's
start with
see,
a C, or was that the first guy?
the first guy. Oh, I thought
Oh, Massey was the basketball player, right?
no, Massey,
Oh,
JT Massey. He was a baseball player.
oh, baseball. I got it wrong. I thought it was
Yeah.
basketball.
So
Okay.
yeah, she lied about that. There was photos of her with him, and that was
Mhm.
kind of like they were like engagement photos. They were done by like a professional photographer. And so then there was the Cabot Phillips, which was ironically this was like 2017. There was a picture of Charlie playing basketball with Cabot Phillips. Well, that's the same year that she was dating Cabot Phillips. So it's kind of weird that she didn't even meet Charlie until 2018.
And
And
wasn't she on some reality show that
yeah,
she was set up on a date with somebody? So to say you didn't date, you didn't, have, well, I guess being on a reality show for the whole world to see you being set up on a
hmm
date, that doesn't mean a relationship. So maybe that's what she meant. But with these other two, it appeared there was a lot more than that.
yeah. And then even like on I think it was the town hall thing, she was talking about how um when she didn't date for 5 years, blah, 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 and then something about how she learned from her former roommate there because she did the dating apps, and she would go on these dates, like, she would go meet someone for coffee in the morning and then go on another date with somebody else in the evening for dinner, and so then she was like, "Well, and I don't drink, so it's just not my thing, blah, 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 that's just not something I'm into," but yet on this dating show that she was on, the reality show, the guy that she was on a date with was named Jordan, and she ordered a Chardonnay. So,
Right, they showed her flirting and drinking wine and
hmm
yeah.
yeah, and then like 2 weeks later, she hooked up with Charlie
Mhm.
after that. So, yeah, so things are just kind of weird, and just so many lies are just starting to surface
The thing
about.
for me is I'm not a huge conspiracy theorist. I love reading them and then I like to look through them. And I actually don't just look through them, I look at like debunking and then proving. So
Mhm.
then see which way I lean towards something. But then sometimes I just look for facts. So, when you blatantly lie, and that was a blatant lie that she didn't date anyone, and then these pictures were scrubbed and that kind of thing. It's not just because I want to trust her, I want to find truth in her, I want to find that her and Charlie were happily married and they didn't have any, this is a tragedy. I want to believe the mainstream media story, but I learned that I can't do that. So but when you're caught in blatant lies, and it's like it kind of gives room for everything else to spiral.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's hard to know what to believe anymore because
Yeah.
there's so many different things, and it's like, I, I don't know. It's like it's just questionable anymore. And then I don't know. I just feel like TPUSA's turned into a joke, and then sadly, I feel like it died right along with Charlie, and his
Right.
legacy has been bought,
Right.
and
Because what I wanted, and one of the reasons that I really like Charlie was his faith in God, following God, showing us all that you can be out there, that you can say that you're for Trump, but you can put your faith in God and stand up. And so having that microphone and doing those things were very impressive to me, and that he seemed like a relatively normal person, just had his faith up front and his love for God, which was showing up in whatever jeans and a t-shirt and just communicating with people. People don't like the way he communicated. Well, they don't like being confronted in any way, but he showed up as a regular guy. When you now have these events and everyone's dressed to the nines and you've got fireworks going off and you're selling merch, it's like you lost me. You
mhm,
lost me. Just a guy up there with a microphone and a t-shirt drinking, whatever, his tea and bottled water. I'm listening, like I can relate, and that now I can't relate. You lost me like in a very short time because you went
yeah.
into this whole, yeah, like you said, this nonprofit, which it
Mm,
is, but it's got so much money involved. I can't relate
yeah.
anymore.
Well, the sad thing is, like, I felt like so much like um empathy, and I don't know, just it made me
Great.
feel so good in the beginning, like seeing
Mm-hmm.
how everybody was starting to turn to God, and they
Oh, an
were
enlightenment.
buying
Yeah, an
Bibles for the
enlightenment.
first time, and you
Yeah.
know, um people who were non-believers becoming believers, people who are witches were burning all their stuff, and it was kind of cool to see, and it made me feel good about that. And then to see the amount of people turn out at the memorial, and then but then what afterwards, and it's like seeing it was just about getting people to join TPUSA, signing them up, selling their merch, and then that was just the start of what everything is becoming now.
Mm-hmm.
And so then with the AmFest, same thing. I mean, basically what I saw as far as AmFest was basically the same thing that the memorial was, you
Right.
know? And I don't know if they start off their AmFest with like worship and all that stuff. I've never been. I don't know. But I did see like on TikTok this girl had posted um a, a video saying that she goes, I went to AmFest, and this was on a Friday. She'd went, and she's like, but I have no desire to go back. I seen all I needed to see
Okay.
that day, and I don't want to go back. And I asked her why, and but then I went back into her videos from previous things that she had posted, like, and basically, she really enjoyed what Tucker had to say. Oh, what's his name? Oh, the dude with the curly long hair from England or something. Oh, my mind
Are you
just went blank.
talking about Katy Perry's ex-husband?
Yeah,
Oh, Russell Brand.
Russell Brand. Yeah,
Yeah.
she enjoyed him, but it's like Ben Shapiro ruined it, and you know, and then just seeing the other stuff that was going on around there, she said it just made her feel very uncomfortable. And and ironically, I seen other people say pretty much the same thing, that it just didn't feel right. Something just did not feel right with them being
Yeah,
there.
and with COVID, um, I worked for a small business. My husband worked for a large corporation. He made hand over fist money. My poor boss, who runs a small business, was struggling, and they made every possible opportunity for us to not be able to work. Through the small business was hard, and yet the large corporations, they could do whatever they wanted. They had thousands of people shopping there every day. I think a lot of people were lost in the world. A lot of
Mhm.
people were regaining their faith. A lot of people were searching out for a fix. Okay. And then there's this light. Charlie was around. Charlie was out there debating and doing these things. But then we all searched for this light. And when we found, it was like, okay, there's a little mix of politics here and a little mix of religion, or maybe a lot of mix of both. But we leaned more towards our faith. I'm talking about people around me personally. Okay. So we leaned more towards into our faith and leaned into the idea that we were allowed to speak, because you weren't allowed to speak when you supported Trump. People screamed at you, threw stuff at you,
Oh,
threatened you, whatever. But this, you wanted that faith aspect, and I think he gave that to us. And then when it turned into, like you said, the mega church bubble, where we're just going into this extravaganza. When I go to church, I want respect. I want some tradition. I want humble. I want peace. I just want everything around me to just admit peace, if anything. But when you're going and looking at theirs, they're fighting on
mhm.
stage. They're arguing about each other. They're diminishing each other. That is dividing the country. There's enough divide between the right and the left, but then within the conservative Christian community, we don't need that divide.
Mhm.
And I think that's where I got lost. Like, you can't keep on dividing and continue to prop yourself up. This is not just about us right now, what each one of us is going through. It's about the future, and it's
Mhm.
about the past, and it's about putting it all together.
Yeah. Well, like somebody had said, like basically, the Gen X and millennials are pretty much kind of going to be pushed out of the whole TPUSA thing. It's going to be the future of Gen Z, and that's kind of scary. Um, the way where things are leading in that direction. But this is one thing that really, oh God, it's just disgusting. And I know a lot of people are not happy about this too. And it's been kind of like the talk
Mm,
about how
mm,
they set this up
mm,
in
mm.
the same way that it was when he was murdered. And so people could go in there and kinda get a feel what it was like, or take pictures and stuff. It's like, seriously? I mean, oh God. It just, like, puts a n I don't even know. I have no words for that.
It's in poor taste. Whether you say
Yeah.
it's not what it was, this is what we do when we go to every event, or we do this at each thing. It was just a chance for people to, take a snapshot. Like, okay, so Charlie was killed. That was the setup, and he was vulnerable. Can we change that now? You know, and we don't need a thing set up exactly like it, so we can all step in there and be like, oh, this is what happened. It's like, you can say all you want. It wasn't a general setup so people would take a picture of the tragic moment in general, but it was a setup that you used all the time. I mean, it's what 99% of us use when we go out to do stuff in
Mhm.
any, charitable or nonprofit things or whatever, farmers markets, things like that. But make a switch because it's really tragic for a lot of people. And I don't know why you would want to go in there and take a selfie or do whatever. It's
Mhm.
sick. It's sick. I think it's totally in poor taste.
Yeah. For the reason that it was put up, you know?
Absolutely.
If it was set up and they were selling merch there or whatever, and it was set up for another reason, I wouldn't have an issue with that, but the way that they set it up
As a
to
photo op.
yeah,
Yeah.
that I just yeah, poor taste.
Not okay.
And, uh, there was a lot of Freudian slip-ups too. Um, I wish I could play them, but I kinda I wrote some down and oh, okay, yeah, that thing that Cabot Phillips is doing, the touring, it's called How to Lead Like Charlie, you know?
Right. Oh, I thought more like Charlie. Yeah. How to be
Yeah,
like Charlie.
pretty
And
much
which
the
one's
same.
doing it?
Cabot Phillips.
Yeah. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
And from what I understand too is he already had a date set for, um, late September before Charlie was even killed, from what I understand.
So yeah.
So, I don't know for a fact. That's just something that was said. Like I said, anything that we say on here is just it's, um, things that we've heard, don't know for a fact.
Speculation, just
Yeah,
town gossip, or just, you know,
whatever
shooting the,
whatever
shooting
was
the
said, and
breeze.
then
Yeah.
what our thoughts on are on it, if it were true or not.
Well, and our
But
thoughts change all the time, so it is what it
mhm,
is.
yeah.
But I think it's a little twisted
But,
and in poor taste again. Let's just say I don't know if he had things set up already, but let's just say he didn't. And you dated him in the past. So I'm not going to go to my husband after he passes and be like, hey, can you do this or to my ex boyfriend or high school? I don't even know. And be like, hey, will you do this thing called be more like my husband?
yeah,
That's weird.
it's like I thought JD Vance was the closest thing to her husband.
I know, except he's an assassin.
Yeah. So speaking of, um, one of the okay, so let me start from the beginning of the start of the AmFest. When she got up there, she couldn't log into her, tablet or iPad, whatever, and then, um, so she had to wing it basically just to speak off the top of her head, and so one of the slip ups was instead of she said, "Once Charlie was assassinated," and it's like that word right there, "once," caught people's attention, and, it's like, why would you say once he was assassin? That's kinda, like, premeditated, like, you were expecting it to happen, uh, instead of, like, well, after he was assassinated, like, in past tense instead of speaking it in, like, you were expecting it to happen. So that was one thing that she
Hmm,
said,
hmm.
and then this, kid, Caleb, um she was talking about on stage, he was a younger guy, and she's like, "Caleb has persisted with the same gift, grit as Charlie," you know? And,
Mhm.
it's like, "What is it, lady? Is it are
I
you"
know.
she's like, "Oh, I know that he's not a grifter. I meant to say grit. He has a lot of grit," you know? I'm like, "Come on, man. That's like 2 in the same weekend just from
Right,
her."
right. Yeah.
And then, okay, so then Nicki Minaj someone that Charlie didn't think was a very good role model to young black women or any women for that matter. Um, this got awkward too. I don't know if you watched the video on that. Um, but she has said, you know, you have an amazing role models like, and she was like, handsome Donald President Trump or whatever. And then you have role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that, mm, and then she got quiet. And then Erica goes, trust me, there isn't anything under the sun that I haven't heard. Like, it wasn't even about you, lady.
Right. Right.
It's like if someone said that and it was my husband, I would have been like, what the?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Now, I have to tell you, I don't watch a lot of this, like, but I give Nicki Minaj grace on the one thing that she was talking about the Christians being killed in Africa, and so that was a concern. So I love that someone actually gets involved in something that,
Mhm.
you know, and like Tucker Carlson said at the AmFest, like killing people is never going to be okay. You're always going to have to pay the price for that. He was not talking about that situation, but in general. So he was talking about Palestine and that whole thing. So in my heart, I mean, we all do know that. And I feel that way with everything. I can't pick a side when there's, you know, war and demise. They're people. So for her to stand up and put her self out there is something I can give her grace for. What really makes me go, is she said that, and then boom, she's front and center at AmFest. Like, did we forget about everything else? It's like, no, you didn't say one good thing about people being killed and stick up and ask Trump to do something about it. And all of a sudden, you're a spokesperson. Like, you know,
That was her surprise guest. And it's like, really? This
a
is kind of a
surprise. Is she
weird thing.
not the same one that wrote that song WAP or whatever it was?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, yeah, Charlie was like, I don't think that someone who's singing about girls' wet vaginas are a very good role model.
Right. And then so okay, and there's redemption and there's all this, but
Mhm.
how did we go from that's what gets me. It's like we go from 0 to 180. Like, or is
Mhm.
that no, we go 180 that
Well, and
Trump.
then she was against Trump, and
I
she
guess
in the beginning too. She wasn't a Trump supporter,
yes,
and now all of
yes,
a
but
sudden she's flipped. She's totally done a 180, and now she's for Trump and supporting Trump and JD Vance, and I guess because other people could flip, that it's like it's okay. But
I
here's the
do
thing.
I do believe that, you know, some people can flip in general because it benefits them greatly. But
Hmm.
it wasn't that long ago. She did that nasty performance that was almost unviewable. And I didn't view it, but I
I
saw,
didn't see it.
oh no, it was just literally meh. And then now you're sitting like, now another thing I agreed, she was the one that said, like, everybody needs to stop insulting white women for being proud of their beauty. It's like, my beauty as a black woman doesn't diminish your beauty as a white woman, and I love that. Like, yes, we need to embrace each other and be like, you can be beautiful and I can be beautiful. And so there's two things I like that she said after all this time. But I give her grace in that sense, but I also don't understand how you go from writing that vile song and performing it all over the place, and then being sitting next to Erica Kirk and like, kumbaya.
Yeah, and then Erica Kurt's like, "Oh my god, I love Nikki." You know, it's like everything was
That's my
okay.
favorite song.
Don't worry about what you said. I hear it all the time. Blah blah blah.
Right. Oh, you said JD Vance's assassin. Ha 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 ha. You also wrote a song called WAP. I mean, come
But it's
on.
like, why? Of all words, that's how you're gonna describe a man. And I guess actually he had responded to that. I don't know, he got tagged in it or something, and he's like, okay, well, all right then. That was his reaction. So anyway, so other Freudian slip was Andrew, when he was talking with Megan. Um, he says they are processing their guilt in the way, and Megan interrupts and says their grief, and he said their grief, thank you. So that's all like these slip ups are like so like major,
They
like
are
the worst thing.
so, wait, they are so Dateline. They are so Dateline. Like literally what you'd be seeing in the interviewing room on Dateline. And the
Mhm.
detective's like,
Right.
processing your guilt? I meant grief. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Everything they're saying, a real investigator would be catching on to all that stuff
Absolutely.
because you don't
Absolutely.
just say things. That stuff is in the back of your head that you are trying to not
Yes.
focus on. But when you talk too much, it comes out. The
Yep.
truth, the truth will come out.
Yes.
And in this case, I don't think the truth is going to set you free.
Well, I have
But
to say,
yeah.
I believe we all stand before our maker, and we can talk about all day long, but when it comes to it, like, you want to be able to sleep at night. And some of these people, enjoy your mansions now, because everyone's day will come.
Yep.
So, but it's terrifying, the manipulation, the power, and the twisted sense of it all that they can do.
So yeah, so getting back to the Fort Huachuca thing.
I love that
Oh,
name, Huachuca.
Fort Huachuca. So this Brian, okay, so um, yeah, I don't know about this guy. I'm not real sure whether I want to believe him or not, but that he really was there at Fort Huachuca. That veteran Mitch or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because there was a incident report that was written up, and Candace did get a copy of that. Um, and then as far as I don't know who got this information. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Um, all right, so here whoops. Brian Harple's flight information. So the meeting for that was held in Fort Huachuca was on September 9th, and it ended at 7:30 a.m. So, as far as Brian's flight information, there's still a big time gap between 5 a.m. on September 8th when he arrived in
Okay.
Dallas Fort Worth, okay? And then 4:42 um oh, I can't see that one. I'd have to look at it on my phone. But on September 9th is when he was flying out, I think. Oh, 1:42. Sorry. At 1:42, was the time that he was leaving Dallas Fort Worth the next day and was arriving in Salt Lake at 3:30 something.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, why would you fly from LA to Dallas, stay overnight, and then go from Dallas to Salt Lake? So that whole window between
Right.
is like there was enough time if it wasn't tracked, like he didn't. I mean, this is the info he sent, but maybe he didn't send the other part, like of where he actually went to Fort Huachuca. He could have gone there and then flown back to Dallas to catch the 142 plane. And so this had okay. So on this thing, yeah, I definitely can't see it. Let me pull it up on my phone. Okay, so someone had asked, I think it was Grok, if there was time between, for him to be able to still fly or go to Fort Huachuca and catch his flight to go to Salt Lake. And it said, yes, there was an American Airlines flight operated by Envoy Air scheduled to depart Tucson International Airport at 9:45 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on September 9th. And the details for that specific flight, had flight number, whatever, departure time 9:45. The arrival time for Dallas was 12:57. So he would have still had time to catch the flight at 1:42. And that flight duration was only 2 hours and 12 minutes. So a person who took the 9:45 a.m. American Airlines flight from Tucson could likely have made the American Airlines flight from Dallas Fort Worth to Salt Lake that departed around 1:42 on September 9th. So the connection time was sufficient for a standard domestic transfer at Dallas Fort Worth. Um anyway, so that's a long layover. If you're why would you that doesn't
Right.
even make any damn sense. Why wouldn't you just fly from LA to Salt Lake, You could have just done a direct flight, I'm sure. That's just weird to me.
It is. It's a lot to take in.
So, I mean, and that's to say, like, you think that's as an alibi. It's not really an alibi because that time that needs to be accounted for is missing.
Right.
There all that time between 5 a.m. and the time that you took the other flight to go to Salt Lake. And if the meeting ended at 7:30, he had time to get to the airport at 9:45, and then blah. So, yeah, I don't feel like, it's debunked Brian Harple from not being in Fort Huachuca. Um, so if that guy's claim that he saw him and he's 99% sure that it was him, and then, Erica, his only way of describing her was that it looked like a photo of her when she had her hair pulled back in a ponytail, so that was
I didn't hear that.
his
Yeah.
his description. So, I mean, like, it's still hard to prove, so can't really say if that was true or not. She claims that she was home, asleep in her bed, and the other thing that was weird is, like, why would they sleep in separate rooms? And then he didn't even kiss her goodbye when he left.
How did we hear that? I didn't hear that.
Um, I don't know, it's just something that's floated around, so I don't know. I think she had said it supposedly, and, on something that one of the interviews or whatever that she did. I don't know if that was the one with for, I don't know the guy's name, the one where she was sitting in the office when she did the interview. I think. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
And then the as far as the Cabot Phillips, Candace had showed him a photo of him and asked if this was the guy that he saw, and he said, "Yes, that's definitely one I
Okay.
saw." And but she asked him, "So on a percentage scale, how sure are you?" And he said, 90 95.99% or
Wow.
something like that. So,
That's pretty good percent.
yeah. So, it's still being she's still looking into all that anyway. So, basically, yeah, so Eric and Cabot would have to account for their time some way to prove it. Did you see okay, this was I don't know when this was when it was, but just recently, well, I saw it yesterday, but um when she was sitting in his office and she's like, "Oh my gosh," she was like, "I haven't sat in his office since the day that he, since he died or whatever." And or I don't know if it was the day of or whatever. I don't even know what office, if it was a home office or what office she was talking about, but she's like, he always wrote down all these notes and stuff on paper or whatever. And
Uh,
on it, one that she picked up, written on it, it said priorities or something.
mm-hmm.
Um, family, children, legacy, kids number one. That was on one side, kind of like a pros and cons kind of list. And on the other side, it said careerism, consumerism, and loneliness.
Hmm. No.
So I'm like, that's just kind of a weird, like, what was he lonely from?
Right, right. Having a beautiful wife and two beautiful children, I would think you would never be lonely. I mean, traveling, you could be lonely, but still, and then all these friends and acquaintances, like I don't know
Yeah.
about lonely. Huh.
I mean, I guess if you're touring a lot and you're gone a lot, I mean, if you're
Right.
you're choosing your career and the money um could make you feel lonely,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So, I mean, there's a lot of ways you could read into that. So, I mean, like, I don't know, but the look on her face was kinda like she wasn't expecting to see that,
I didn't
and the
see
fact
that
that
one
her
coming.
name wasn't on it,
Right,
you
right.
know?
Oops.
Hmm.
Oops.
So, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so moving on, other news, just a quick little thing. Dan Bongino has resigned. Did you know that? Uh-oh.
Say it again.
Where'd you go?
I know. It's like
Oh my god. Of all days, this is the day. The technical difficulties. Ray Ray over there is just having a heck of a time.
are you back?
I'm here. Where are you?
You sound like a chipmunk.
Um, you left me in the dark. Where are you?
I can see you and I can hear you, but you sound like a chipmunk. I don't know what happened.
Oh my god. All right. We got Sand or Miss Spray. Ray Ray's back. Oh, she was in the dark. I don't know what happened to her, but she's back. We have been having so many
Brenda.
technical difficulties today.
I
And
think it's Santa or Santa spelled backwards. I don't know. I'm so done.
yeah, Santa is doing something. I don't know.
It's Santa spelled backwards for sure. We're done.
What the hell? Dear Satan. Oh, whoops. I
Stop
mixed up my
ruining
letters.
our recording.
Huh?
I said, "Dear Satan, stop ruining our
I got hair in my mouth. All right. Anyway, sorry, folks. We're just having a moment here.
Okay.
All right. So I was saying, in news, which is probably not old news or not new news. It's old news. Dan Bongino, he resigned from the FBI
I
in
know. I
in
know.
January. I don't remember what exact date. January something is his
Yeah,
last
how
day.
disappointing.
Well, the more I thought about it, I really liked his podcast,
I
and
did too.
I I feel like it might be a good thing that he's better off because I trust him, and I feel like he's got a good heart, and I don't think I think he knows more than he wants to know.
Yeah,
And
he
I
was
don't think this is the
way
first time that he's tried to quit. I think he tried to resign before and they wouldn't let him or
okay.
something or
Yeah,
but
no,
I
I
mean
think he's in
go
over
ahead.
his head. He's in over his head. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, and
think that
working for the Secret Service doesn't make you a good FBI director. I'm not saying he's not a good. I don't know. I don't work there. I don't know anything about it. But at the same time, I think he was in over his head. And you're right. I think he had a good heart, and his podcast was informative. Sometimes it got a little angry for me, but I thought it was good.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, but he just tells it like it is, and he doesn't kind of sugarcoat anything and it's like and I oh, she gone again. Screen's black, but
Oh, we only
anyway.
had a couple minutes. We should have wrapped it up because it's the Santa it's the Santa backwards curse.
Oh my goodness. Anyway,
It's the
eh,
Santa.
Santa,
It's
Santa. Anyway, I just feel like I think it's a good thing that he's not going to be there, so maybe that we can get some good, solid podcasters back, and I maybe I think his excuse is that he's away from his family too much and he wants to be with them. And if
oh
that's
yeah,
his reason, that's awesome. That's great that he feels
right,
that way. But I
right.
think he knew that going in there that that would be the case. So I honestly, in my gut feeling, I felt like for a while now that I don't think that you never hear him talk about anything, you
Right.
know, you know what I mean? Because I don't think he could stand up there and lie about stuff like Cash Patel. That that's just my opinion, by the way.
Yeah, Cash Patel, you good liar.
Yeah. I think that not that he's a good liar, I just don't think that Bongino could stand up there and lie about something,
Right, right,
you
right.
know what I mean? I think his conscience is stronger than that, and I think that's just my opinion, that's just the feeling I get from it all,
No,
and
I agree. I like it. Yes, I agree.
and and, I kinda that's my read, that's my gut feeling about it, and, um, you know, Cash, we'll see you in Valhalla. Anyway,
Right.
on that note, since Santa here, or I don't know what's going on over there in Ray's house.
Satan? I don't know if it's me, I swear. I mean, why
I
would
mean,
it
she had to switch from her laptop to the cell
I
phone.
know, but why would it be black now? I mean, yours should be working. If it was working, this is maybe the app's tweaking out because it's we need to update. I don't know.
Or maybe we're talking about stuff that we shouldn't be talking about.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe
They've been
we're onto something, and someone's trying to ruin our podcast.
sabotage us. Oh,
I don't know.
they've been
But
working on
anyway,
us all day.
we've talked enough about all this stuff, and
Right.
so we'll do a part 2 and get to the conspiracy thing, because I think that's gonna be another long one, and I
Yeah.
have definitely a lot to say about that.
Right. But until
So,
I'm going to throw holy water on my internet.
yeah, let's pray that she gets her end all
It's me.
healed and better so that we can
I don't know
continue
if
this.
it's me. I'm telling you, I think everything over here is fine. It's something in the air.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, we spent a lot of time trying to get this one going, and my stomach's growling. I'm hungry, and I was gonna
Amen.
go make a
Amen.
pot roast, and I gotta get cooking it.
Oh,
So,
nice. Okay, honey. Well, Merry Christmas to everybody, and we will see you soon.
all right,
All right,
don't
honey.
don't log off yet, but we'll log off for these guys. Peace
Okay.
out. Merry Christmas.
Peace
Stay
and love.
Come back for part 2.